Okay, so we're here with Penny, and this is Penny's dog door. Now, as you can see, Penny's on the inside. Now, as you can see, this dog door has 3 panels, and these are plastic panels. I was telling the guardian off camera, I probably had a couple dozen clients whose dogs, little dogs, have stopped going through the dog door, because what happens is they push this part through, and their head is here, sticking out. And their head gets over on this side of this little pane. And what happens is then they, I can't do it. They change their mind. They think, oh, I want to go back inside, and their head gets caught between this, and it creates a choke point, and they panic a little bit. And then after that, because dogs learn through association, they don't want to go through it again. So the very first thing I would recommend the guardian do, if this is through PetSafe, I don't know what the company is, but most companies have a plastic flap version of this. Sometimes they just come with these, but usually they're interchangeable, and you can swap it out for another one. That makes it impossible. The dog won't get that caught because this is rigid. The plastic ones, it's just a flap and it's bendable. So that might take care of this problem by itself. But we also want to teach her to go through it. Now, she knows how to go through it because the guardian has had it taped up. But when we tape it up, one of the things, a little tip for the dog door, if you have a dog that has this problem, don't leave it exclusively taped up in one direction, because they'll only feel it falling on them or brushing up against them in one direction. So in her case, we want her to come out. So what I'm doing is I'm doing it, but I'm holding it up high enough where her head's not going to hit. You see she's timid to come out. I'm letting it hit her butt. So I want her to get used to that sensation. We might not necessarily have to change it. I just want to go through that tip because it seems to help a lot of people. Penny. So I'm letting her know that I have some of her favorite treats, and I'm tossing it right inside. I'm holding it up just enough so she can go get it. And you see her whimpering. And I'm holding it so she's not touching her head. Now, she wants me to solve that problem for her, but she's got to solve it on her own. I'll hold up a little bit higher for her. We want to make it as easy as we can, but not completely easy. She's got to figure something out. As soon as she's halfway through the threshold, I want to let go so it's hitting her butt. Now, we can also create a command word for this. Now, the dog guardian had a dog trainer come out to help her with this. I'm guessing for what she described is she would basically held the door, taped it up, and one person would just have the dog go in and out the door. Well, she doesn't have a problem going through the door. This is what she has the problem with. So what we want to do is just, again, we want to practice, and again, the lowest level, there we go, of help. Now, we would like to come up with command words for this. So we might want to call like casa to go inside, and I can't remember how to say yard in Spanish, but whatever words are, but you want to come up with a command word that means either one. So do you have any thoughts of what you'd like to go inside mean or outside mean?
Inside, outside.
Okay. So what we'll do is I have this treat. Now when she's going in, I'm going to push it this way. When she's coming out, I'm going to hold it this way.
Yeah, in and out.
All right. No, I'm just in terms of the direction I want the door to go, not necessarily the command word. I'm not going to say the command word until she licks it up off the ground. So what I'm going to do is let her see that I have one. I'm going to hold it with this hand first and bring her up here. Put it right there. Here, Penny.
Get it.
Now, we want to encourage, and I love where the guardian's going with this, but the problem is if we over-encourage, that's kind of validating the dog. You hear her whimpering, she knows and she wants to get it. She just needs to work up the courage to go get it. So that's why I'm holding it open here, but she's, I think, waiting for me to just give her the treat or to tape it up or do the permanent solution for her. So, again, we're just going to wait. Patience is a virtue when it comes to dog behavior, and it's one of the things that most people have the most difficulty with because we live in such a fast-paced society. So that fact that she's moving around and she's whimpering tells me that she's motivated. She wants to go get it. She just needs to get the courage to do it. Now, while we're waiting for this, I'm going to talk about some other tips and tricks that we can use for this. I have found for a lot of dogs, the fear of being left alone or away from their guardian is greater than the fear of something. So for this one, because if we don't swap this one out to the plastic panel, which I think will take care of the problem, but what we want to do is hold it, set it up so that we can tape it so it's slightly open. But we'd like this last part to be able to hit down. So maybe we'd tape it or put something on the side that actually just some sort of like a screw or something like that that just holds it open so it's open somewhat. Come here, Penny. Now I sometimes have to lead the dog up to it. That couldn't have been more perfect. What I did is I put it there and I put it outside. When she went up and nudged to lick it, she accidentally knocked it in here, which is exactly what I wanted her to do. Now she knows it's in there. So I'm just holding up just high enough for her to feel comfortable enough to go in there so it's not touching her head. Inside. Inside. So you want to watch, and when she licks up the treat, that's the second you want her to hear the treat, the command word. So now I'm going to grab a couple more treats. So we can entice her to come back out. Actually, let's put these in here. Penny. Out.
That was good.
Okay. Come on, Penny. So I do use the first one on the lower ledge to just lure her there. She's looking at me. There, she sees it. Now you got a freebie there. You didn't knock that one off. Come here, Penny. Now the idea is you want her to get close enough where if she's way down here, she's too far away, she won't bridge that gap. Inside. Inside. So I'm saying it really twice. Better time to say it is when she licks the treat up off of her, off the ground. That time she had more rhythm or more contact with her back. Penny?
She does real good coming out. Now, that time I made a little tactical error. She was able to get it, she knocked it off, but it was just right inside. So I'm holding it in my hand, and I have a spare one just in case that happens again. Penny? So again, I first need to get her up here, then I need to get her here. And try to not let the thing move when she's up here. That movement can spook her. Just waiting for me to fix this problem for her. I can do it, but then I'm not helping her fix this problem permanently. Inside. Inside. See if we can get her come out right away. This might be a little bit early for her to do it on her own. Penny. I'm letting her lick it, trying to lure her to come on out. Penny? Again, not the most exciting footage. Out. She got a twofer that time, didn't you, Penny? Good job. Penny. Now you can see that movement, so I try to keep the movement a little bit on the slower side. Yeah, you got to get it for yourself. Oh, that was a little bit too soon for me. That was on me. There we go. So I want it hitting her like her back and her butt. Let's see if we can get one more. Get her to come out to one of these sweet potato treats. Let's see. She's staring at me intently. That was even better. So as we're doing this, I don't want to, this is going to probably be a half an hour video. I'm going to have the guardian practicing this a little bit, but the idea is we want this to be a little bit lower each time until eventually she just runs out and she pushes it through herself. Now we can also, I'm going to teach the guardian how to do a targeting exercise. And what we might want to do is remove this and actually teach her to target this through a conditioned emotional response. I'm going to do that in a separate video. But basically, what I want the guardian to do is practice this like 2 or 3 times a day. And again, do this before meals so she's a little bit more motivated. And the first time you do it, I'd like you to keep her inside, come outside yourself, but don't let her out through this door. And keep it open. And then, now again, what you might want to do is get some, I don't know how you would do it, but you probably have to tape something maybe across like from here to here on the inside so that it's kind of holding it open. And you might have to actually tape this one so it's up like this. So you're basically, she has a little bit of a slat. And this might be actually a good thing you might want to do is actually tape this from here to here and leave this open and then come out so she sees it and it's open and there's nobody's hand here. And then you're hanging out here. Come out here and do, I know Penny likes to do a little sunbathing, so we come out here and do a little sunbathing ourselves and we give her a motivation because she was a mama girl. She wants to hang out with mama. So if she does that, then she's gonna be more inclined to want to come out and hang out. You gonna go get a treat? All right, how about we'll do one more peanut butter and then we'll wrap this one up. Penny. Perfect. So you saw she's whimpering. She kind of does a back and forth sort of thing. And then she whined and she looked, is mom going to solve this problem for me? Which tells me that mom loves her a lot and does a lot to solve her problems. But it's going to, sometimes we want the dog to figure out how to do it on their own. So these are some tips and tricks you can use to teach your dog to like going out a dog door that it's decided it's scared of for whatever reason.